It's true. All right, guys, our next Browns topic is brought to us by FanDuel. FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet $5, and if that $5 bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app right now by visiting FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. That is FanDuel.com/UCSS to place your first $5 bet. All right, guys, it has not been the start to the season that the Cleveland Browns expected or, frankly, need from one Jerry Jeudy. G. Bush, you and I were on the Jeudy deserves to be in at least a conversation for All-Pro last season. Bull was very vehemently against it. And so far this year, even though we were right last year, Bull has been proven right
wrong
this year. G, Dustin, I want to start with you guys on this one because Jay and Bull talked most of the Guardian segment. What can the Browns do?
The meaningful segment of this show.
What can the Browns do to get Jerry Jeudy more involved in this offense? Does it fall more on Stefanski trying to scheme up things for his wide receiver one? Is it more on Jeudy just capitalizing on said opportunities? But through the first 3 games of the season, this has not been the production from their wide receiver one they need.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say that you have to, like, change your offense to, like, force a football to a certain guy to get him going. But sometimes you do. The reality is he's probably going to need some more targets and some more targets that are like easy catches, like not a deep shot, not overthrowing him, not making him run 50 yards and just for nothing for him to walk back. I mean, like, you got to get him involved on some bang eights, some slants, some quick outs, and frankly, he's probably got to get in the end zone in some way, shape, or form. And that may be you may have to hand the ball off to him. I don't know. Sometimes those little trick play here or there can get a guy going. I don't know the psyche inside this dude, but I know receivers, and those guys want the rock. And when you're not getting it and you're not having the success that you're feeling, you kind of can go in the tank a little bit, unfortunately. And I think that's sort of where we're at right now with him.
You know, I wanted to go back and look. And so I done watched this about 3 or 4 times, and when you look at with one of the issues with the Cleveland Browns is we talk about motion, right? And we talk about how, you know, they're utilizing motion more, but there's a difference between utilizing motion and then utilizing motion with purpose. When you utilize motion with purpose to get guys open, to get free releases, to use rub routes, to run a guy across the line of scrimmage and then wham and crack back on the defensive end. Now you get him coming down, and now the corner's looking like, okay, well, he's gonna crack there, and no, he comes back in motion, comes already around the backfield. It's when you run in motion, your job is to get a free release. Your job is to make the waters muddy at the line of scrimmage so that your guys can be in open space. And Dustin, you're correct. When you're a guy like Jerry Jeudy, one of the things that you have to do as a play caller, it's not so much it's your system. Every week you're challenged with an opportunity to figure out the way to attack. And so often the first 3 games, the Browns are running just, you know, your simple high-low concepts, trying to put the linebackers in conflict, whether it's a short route, a stick route, and a dig behind it. Teams are sitting on those things because they're not very scared about the ability for you to get deep. And plus, when you couple that with the offensive line, who's not giving you enough time, a lot of those routes don't have time to get the bang aids, to get those post routes like that. Because guys, deep crosser or deep overs take time. You need 3.5 seconds. Flacco's getting to the top of his drop when he needs to make a decision on where I'm going to throw with anticipation, and the guy's in his lap. So you need to do some stuff where you almost got to tell your team, hey, look, I got 5 plays in my back pocket. They kind of cheap. They cheap little plays. Either they're picks, rubs, whatever the case, screens, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to get you active and ready to go early. Jerry Jeudy is a dude that you need to see him. I need to get him some touches quickly. Like, I need to get you 2-3 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And feeling good about yourself. And now you're going to see him running those routes a little bit more with more conviction.
I said this to you guys last year when you were pulling your shenanigans about Pro Bowl and All-Pro, and I'll tell you again, even though I think he's a nice player, he is not a special player. He is not a player, we got to get him the ball. First of all, the Browns can barely throw the ball at all. They have the worst quarterback in the league. They have the worst pass-blocking offensive line in the league. Like, What are you even talking about here, Mike? I don't even understand. What do you want him to do? He's getting 7 targets a game for a team. How about you hold on to the ball when you do get it thrown your way? He has more drops than anybody else the last 2 years. He's getting 7 targets a game. Isn't that most on the team?
Yes.
Okay, so what the hell are we talking about here? I got to force the action to a guy who's just a decent wide receiver?
Well, it was a 2-part question. I said,
Yeah.
is it on Kevin Stefanski, or is this just Jerry Jeudy making the most of his opportunities? I
It's
apologize for not emphasizing and putting that in bold text
I
on the
will say
rundown
this.
for you last night, so you knew the 2 parts.
All targets are not created the same.
Right.
Like if you're sitting, here's the thing you need to look at.
Yeah.
Flacco's average is 3.9 yards.
Right. It stinks.
To put it in perspective, that's not stinks. That's like
That's another level of
that's
stink.
high school. You can't run offense like that to
Yeah,
win games.
that-
like it's just it's sobering.
DJ
That's like,
Lagway versus Miami.
That's like OU offense when you played.
Triple option offense.
Yeah.
You know, and so listen,
Why do I got to force plays to him though?
he's the only.
I got to run the ball.
Are you gonna throw it to
I got to
Cedric
run.
Tillman?
I got to force plays.
You gonna throw it to Cedric Tillman?
No, I don't want to throw
Paid
it.
the guy $40 million to score.
I didn't tell him to pay him $40 million.
Well, they did though.
Yeah, they did.
They
but-
did, but that doesn't. They also paid Deshaun Watson $230 million, and we're not going to force him either. I hope. You're right. He's not been a reliable receiver. When you're a receiver, you have what's your job? Get open and catch the ball, right? He has more drops in the last 2 years than any receiver in the National Football League. He has not been a reliable target.
And he doesn't consistently get open enough either.
What I wanted to say mostly on this topic was what
Yeah.
Ross Tucker said when he was on here 2 weeks ago. There's no separation. He's like, look, where are you going to throw the football to? He called the game. He said, I'm looking in the backfield. I'm looking in the defensive backfield. Everybody is covered on every play.
Well, Isaiah Bond wasn't this past week. He didn't throw the ball
So
there.
here's what we have to do. And, I mean, you can't fix the airplane when it's in the air. So we've got to land the plane, and we got to address this in the offseason. You're not going to miraculously come up with all worldwide receivers in the middle of this season. It's not going to happen.
I would question.
But you got Quinshawn Judkins.
Here's my question.
Run the ball.
You guys, this is when I watch, and I've been saying it for a long time. We've not dove into the weeds of watching what Kevin Stefanski. Our offense is high school. Like,
Yeah.
when you watch,
Yeah, but if guys aren't getting open,
no, I mean, because
it's gonna look high school.
Because if you're running regular stick routes and sit downs at 5 yards in the league, that's not going to work. When you watch teams that are great offenses that are creative, they put plays in that make you have to respect certain things. Being a play caller is about creativity. It's about imagining, how do I get my guys in motion? How do I get my guys in an optimal
So
position?
in your mind, it's more X's and O's than Jimmy's and Joe's?
It's a combination of
Because
both.
I've asked that question a million times.
It's a
from guys
combination.
that played in the NFL.
It's a combination of both. If you have dudes, right? This is the thing with the Cleveland Browns. You have to have a mixing pot. If you have dudes, which means I got Justin Jefferson, I got Jamar Chase. When it breaks down, I can go 50-50 ball with him, right? Jamar going to get open. Justin Jefferson going to get open. But when you don't have those guys, and you got guys and your offense isn't as creative as a Shanahan or a McVay, and you don't have these crazy concepts, now you're really in trouble, because now when it breaks down and you don't have, you're counting on Jerry Jeudy to use his physical talent to just get open and win.
And he doesn't have that kind of
He
talent.
doesn't have that kind
No,
of
he
talent.
doesn't.
So
It
you
is
got
a
to do
combination
something.
of
So
all
guys,
this.
am I
You're right.
off?
I think the play calling, frankly, Kevin Stefanski's been overrated as a play caller. He had better talent with Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry.
And it still didn't look
wasn't
like that.
this was some high-powered offense.
Well, am I off when I say I just think everybody's looking at the passing game because that's what we do in the NFL. I think we've got him at running back. I think
but
we've got
how
that
often
guy.
do you want to run? You can't run every play.
No, but 18 isn't enough.
Well, how many do you want?
20,
Okay.
24 or 25.
Fine.
Give me 5 carries a quarter,
Yeah.
and then in the fourth quarter, hopefully he's one of those backs that and the good ones get stronger as the game goes on. I think Leroy echoed my question when I answered my question the way I believe. Is he that guy? I think he's that guy. Now, I understand you want to ease him into it. Hell, he had one padded practice before his first NFL game.
Yeah.
You saw he was 6 yards a carry in that game, so let's increase his workload. Well, guess what? He didn't let us down. He almost had 100 yards rushing. on limited work. So what I want to see a game plan where instead of using the run as complementary partially on the plate, I want that to be our entree. I want that to be the main course. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Because this much I know, our offensive line will not hold up for pass block.
But here's the thing, Jim.
And we don't have receivers that get open. That's a terrible combination.
Nobody, you want 20 carries a game.
I want more than 20. I do.
Nobody averages more than 20 a game.
So?
Nope, not a single player in the league.
Once upon a time, guys could do it.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but what?
But we don't do
Evolution
that
of the human
anymore.
body has gotten worse?
I hear you, but
numbers got in the way.
Okay, let's even say they give him 25 carries a game, which they
Well,
won't,
that's a
but
lie.
okay.
There's one running back averaging 20 yards a carry, so please get your facts straight.
I said nobody's averaging more than 20 carries per game. That is what I said. Go back and listen to it.
Mikey, gonna fight
Jonathan Taylor is averaging exactly 20
He
carries
is.
a game.
No, I love him. Just busting his balls.
Boom.
No, I know.
All right.
I know.
But it come with them stats. like-
I'm okay with
Up here.
using him 25 times a
Fine.
game. I
Let's say
am.
they
I
gave
just
him-
think he's that guy.
Let's say they gave him. You still got to throw the ball 25 times.
You know what we did with Nick Chubb?
No.
We put him on a pitch count, and guess what? Maybe Houston might benefit from that now.
But
all
Jay,
these extended years that we thought we
Jay,
were going to get on Nick Chubb, we didn't get.
I get what you're saying.
Use them while you got them.
Agreed. But
Okay.
even if you
Okay.
even if you give it to him 25 plays a game, that's still 25, 30, 35 plays. You got to give it to somebody else.
Can't do it.
Yeah,
Bull's right
listen,
on that one.
but to
do it.
Leroy's point,
Yeah.
you use the run to soften the defense.
But no one's scared of that. No
Well,
one's scared
Listen,
of
they'll
that.
be scared of it if he's gashing them for 6 yards a game.
no one's
You
scared.
have other great running backs who are better than
Derrick
Quinshon
Henry.
Judkins.
Look at what the Colts are doing right now with mediocre quarterback play.
We're getting
mediocre quarterback
We're
play.
getting horrible
3 games,
quarterbacks.
let's see.
And
Yeah.
they're getting unbelievable play
but
out of one guy, their running back. And all of a sudden, Danny Dimes looks like he's the best in the league.
Joe Flacco is the worst quarterback in the league.
Right. So I want to help him. I don't want
I
to hurt
know
him.
that, but
So if you unleash him,
Jay,
you're playing to the defensive
watch
strength.
how
I want
this-
more Joe Flacco throwing the ball.
Where did Joe Flacco play last year?
Indianapolis.
He was bad enough there that they let him go and got
Yes.
Danny Dimes.
Listen, I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing any of that. but you're making my point.
yeah.
So I don't want to lean on Joe Flacco.
So if they run,
I want to lean on Quinshon Judkins.
So if
I want to
Judkins-
lean on our best weapon on
we get
offense.
it. I don't think anybody's disagreeing with you.
Okay, and
but you still got to do other
still gotta-
things.
You
still
do,
got-
but
yeah.
Bull, I think if you become a run-first approach, I think you're helping Joe Flacco. If you just drop Joe back 45 times a game like you did the first 2 games, it's going to end badly.
Well, the first 2 games they had no choice. They were down big. Or the second
they
game,
really were.
The second game they were.
I mean, no, they weren't. The
In the
Ravens game and late in the third quarter was still a winnable football
the
game.
Bengals game was 50-50 run pass in the first half. You know, and then they first
threw
of
it
all
45 times.
The first game you can't even count because Quinshon didn't play.
I know, I'm not. But I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
he threw it 45 times, it was an L.
I know, but what
in
choice
week
did
2,
you
he threw
have?
it 45 times, it was an L. Last week, he
But-
threw it 30 times, we happened to win the game.
But Jay,
When a quarterback throws 45 times, are they going to win most of the time?
not if the quarterback's not any good.
Well, usually they don't. In
well,
today's
if it's a good
NFL,
quarterback, they do. But
no, they don't.
what choice did you have in that first game? You had no running game.
I'm not talking about the first game.
You did. You brought up the first game.
As an example as to why I don't want
And
Joe
the
Flacco throwing 45
and the
times.
second game they lost by 30.
And they ran 40, they threw it 45 times. Bull, you're making my point. What I'm saying is, when you drop Joe Flacco, we all agree Joe Flacco's not the guy.
Yeah.
So why would we say let's drop him back and force it
but
to Jerry
Jay,
Jeudy?
You're talking about 5. If you run the ball with Quinshon 5 more times a game,
Yeah.
that's not a dramatic difference.
It isn't, but it worked, Bull. It worked in the last game. It worked.
didn't work.
He had 100 yards. He almost had 100 yards rushing.
I understand. Their win had 0 to do with the offense.
They won the game.
But it had 0 to do with the offense.
Well, I mean, he scored a touchdown from the 1 yard line. That when they didn't run the ball, what happened?
I hear you, but it had
Okay.
the win had 0 to
They,
do with
they
the
had
offense.
the ball on the 1 yard line with
Yeah.
first and goal, and they
Yeah.
tried to
What's
get
next,
cute.
Mikey?
And what happened?
Sustainability.
It ended up 4th and goal from the 20.
Here's the thing.
I hear you.
They got down there again, first and goal from
but
the
they
1.
won with him carrying the ball 18 times, not 25.
That's okay.
We're in the
You're not going to
minutia.
continue to do that.
We're in the minutia. Guys, we're in the minutia
Yeah.
of it. Listen, the reality of the situation, Dustin knows this. Yes, you can run the ball more,
Yes.
but the game is won intermediately 15 to 25 yards. If you cannot complete passes 15 to 25 yards, eventually they will stop the run because they have the numbers and they will.
You
stop
guys
it.
are just like putting this offense in a box after one game. I know it's been 3 games, but I mean they're not playing the Packers this week, so it's going to be different. So to sit
they're
here
playing
and
a team
argue
that can
about
score more.
25 carries versus 18 carries, Guys, the game dictates how many carries a guy gets by the fourth quarter.
Right,
like
exactly.
To beat Detroit, what do you want to do?
whatever it takes.
You want to keep their offense off the field.
Whatever it takes. Yeah.
No, I know, but to beat Detroit, you don't want their offense on the field. I thought they did a great job against Cincinnati, keeping that high-powered offense off the field. They should have won the game, let's face it. They should have lost last week. They still should be 1-2, but they should have won.
They should have won week one and lost this past game.
100%.
So they should be 1-2. Either way.
That's exactly right.
Either way, though, they played the Packers tough.
They did. No, they did.
And they put themselves in a position to win the game. They got lucky. Like they play that. If that game goes the exact same way, and Packers line up to kick that game-winning field goal 100 times, they're going to win it like 97 times.
Yeah, I just think they won the game they should have lost the game they should have won. Here nor there. If I'm looking at Detroit and I'm putting together a game plan, how am I going to beat Detroit? I think at the top of the list, or damn near it, is let's just make sure that their offense isn't on the field for 30-plus minutes. If they can do this, I don't think they're going to beat Detroit. But if they can limit Detroit to the time of possession that Cincinnati had, I will say they have a chance to win the game.
Well, but they didn't run the ball well. You talking about running the ball. They didn't run it in that Bengals game.
They didn't, but they had 31 pass completions, most of them for 3 or 4 or 5 yards, and that was kind of like an extended run game. So, and by the way, I don't want to see that again.
Leroy just said don't call it an extended run game.
No, I don't want to see that again.
Yeah.
I don't. What I want to see
But you just said you want to see what they did against Cincinnati. They threw the ball.
Clock
they ran
management.
the ball for 2.0 yards per carry against Cincinnati.
Right.
50 rushing yards.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So what I want to see is I want to see 80-yard drives from the Browns that take 8.5 minutes off the clock.
How are they going to do that?
They did it against Cincinnati, Paul.
The Bengals got the worst defense in football.
Okay, I don't think the Lions have a great defense, by the way.
It's a lot better than the Bengals.
It is better than the Bengals.
It's better, but it's not.
But their offense, Detroit's offense, I don't think anybody's going to give me an argument here. Detroit's offense is one of the best in the NFL.
But guys,
it's good.
Don't let them work.
Unless they play the Packers.
This is not.
Yeah, the Packers did a great job.
The segment started with how do you get Jerry?
They look like the Browns against the Packers.
I got a stat for Jerry Jeudy. I wanted to mention.
Give a Jerry Jeudy stat.
I texted you guys a screenshot because Next Gen Stats doesn't number their rankings, but I want you guys to be able to see how far down I had to scroll. They track the average separation each receiver gets on a route ran. The parameters is a minimum of 10 targets this season. So this is all receivers with at least 10 targets. Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman rank, I don't know the number of how many, but like I said, I texted you guys the video. About 7 scrolls down on the list.
Oh, my God, I'm looking at it
and near the very, very bottom. Both Tillman and Jeudy are averaging just 2 yards of separation per route run this season. David Njoku slightly better at 2.1.
They don't number them because it looks like there are 100 receivers down the list.
They don't number them. That's why I screenshot it to show you how much I had to scroll.
And that's the Jimmies and Joes that I wasn't going to
count.
I just don't think. I don't think. I've said it all along. Our receiving core might be the worst in the NFL. It's coming to fruition, but the cake is made. You got to eat it the way it's made because you're not going to change it now. But these were things that desperately needed to be addressed in the offseason. And again, I'll say it again, this team has a major blind spot when it comes to wide receivers and projecting wide receiver talent.
Again, I would like to say it as the chairman and captain of Project Stockpile. This is my laid back energy because I've been G. Bushman screaming this at the top of a heap stack.
Can we get one?
For six. We've been on this show for this many years, and I keep telling every time we get one receiver, we'd be like, "Oh, we don't need this guy because we got this guy." Every time we say draft a receiver, no, we're not going to draft receivers. We're not going to draft receivers. We need to go get something else. And I'm like, listen, man, if you can't, this is what they built. They built the machine. They haven't went and spent no picks or no free agency on no big time receivers.
No, they have, but they didn't. They fell flat.
On who?
We've drafted 3rd round receivers 3 times, and they're out of the league.
We ain't talking about the 3rd round. We talking about these guys. These guys, when you got dudes with Justin Jefferson and Addison, and they got 2-3 receivers on their roster that can get it done. We got one in a possible.
Would you agree with this? Before you can stockpile anything, you need at least one. I want stockpile 2, but I'd settle for 1.
They do have one. Jeudy is one receiver.
He's probably 130th in terms of separation.
But here's the thing.
That's based on 3 games.
Here's the way it works.
I saw it last year, too.
He had 1,200 yards last year.
If you get Jerry Jeudy,
wasn't an all-pro.
And who I believe is as a nice number 2 receiver, and you get you a number 1, you'll be surprised how everything changes.
I would be fine with
Jeudy has
Jeudy
at
as
least
a
60
2.
yards this week. Watch.
I'd be fine with Jeudy as a 2. Because he is a 2. I don't think he's a 1.
he's not an elite one, but
he's led the league.
There's
in
not
drops.
30 receivers better than him, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
They
I wonder where he ranked in the average.
They are.
He's a 1 on some teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you
He's
take
not
him as a
one
wide
on, like-
receiver 1 on your fantasy team? I know
No.
it's different.
No, fantasy is
Yeah, I
totally
know.
different.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
The Browns.
I don't know that there's not 30 receivers that I
we
take
talk
over him.
talk through this stuff, and I know Jay says it, Jason Lloyd says,
There's not 30 you take over.
This is a soft
there
reset,
is.
McNuggets.
I
This
did
is-
it. It's
This
close.
is
It's
not
like
no soft
20.
reset. This is not a soft reset. Like you these are major glaring holes. As great as they did, you still need tackles. You need receivers. Your quarterback of the future ain't identified. You ain't even playing. They're not getting no experience.
They have 1 wide receiver,
One.
2 tight ends, and one running back.
And that's it.
all they got.
That's
Actually, they
it.
got 1
That's it.
tight end because Njoku's a free agent at the end of the year.
And the best defense in the league.